Something extraordinary just happened. The numbers are in, and they're blowing economists' minds. After 4 years of Biden's disaster, Americans are suddenly feeling something they haven't felt in years: optimism, confidence. The data doesn't lie, and what it's showing has the establishment media in full panic. They can't spin this, they can't hide it, and they can't explain it away. One man returned to the White House, and instantly everything changed, and the proof is undeniable. The transformation is real, and what's happening to our economy right now proves every single Trump supporter was right all along. Wait until you see these numbers. Wait until you hear what Americans are really saying. The Trump effect is back, and it's bigger than ever. Don't go anywhere. Because Americans are feeling confident again. Because Trump is restoring our foundation. And speaking of foundations, the American honeybee is the foundation of our food supply. While consumer confidence soars, Patriot Bee Best is ensuring our agricultural future remains secure. Now, these essential pollinators, they're under attack, just like our economy was under Biden. But Patriot Bee Best, a veteran-owned movement, is fighting back, funding restoration projects and educating patriots nationwide. When you support PatriotBeeBest.com with promo code NEXTNEWS for 25% off, you are investing in America's food security while Trump secures our economic prosperity. Visit PatriotBeeBest.com. Protect the bees and preserve the republic. And just like those bees are essential to our food supply, consumer confidence is essential to our economy. Today's numbers just delivered a massive shock to the system. Americans are feeling better about the economy than they have had in years. The Trump effect isn't just real, it's actually measurable, it's undeniable, and it's driving the establishment absolutely insane. White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt delivered the stunning news that has Democrats scrambling for excuses. Consumer confidence hit record highs, and respected pollster Matt Rasmussen shows the majority of Americans believe that we're finally on the right track. Watch.
There is good news today. Consumer confidence hit a record high, and also the highly respected pollster Matt Rasmussen showed that the majority of Americans view our country as heading on the right track under President Trump. This is a stark contrast to what that same polling showed under the previous disastrous administration led by Joe Biden. As for the trade talks, since you mentioned them, I was just going back and forth with our United States Trade Representative Jamison Greer, who informed me that the Trump administration continues to be in intensive talks with India, and the president, of course, has applied very public pressure to the European Union so that they, too, can have a miraculous trade deal just like we cut with Britain and our friends in the United Kingdom. So we continue to move forward in cutting good deals that put the American people and the American worker first.
Record high confidence versus Biden's disaster. That is the Trump difference right there. Americans know prosperity when they feel it. Economist Stephen Miran broke down exactly why these numbers matter and what they mean for your wallet. His analysis destroys the mainstream narrative completely and proves what we've been saying all along. Watch.
You know, the consumer confidence data this morning were really great. There's no other way to put it. It was the biggest jump since March of 2021, right? So very substantial improvement in consumer confidence. However, I came on your network and other networks pointing out when consumer confidence was down last time that the correlation between it and hard economic data was not as strong as it had been in the past. And I think what we're seeing is that those confidence data overreacted to the financial market activity, and now that financial markets are back, the confidence data are back too. But the bottom line is that Americans know that President Trump is a profoundly pro-business and pro-growth president. His administration is profoundly pro-growth. And just like last time, President Trump created a great economic boom through his policies. And the same thing is in the works this time. And Americans know that, and they're starting to understand that.
The biggest jump since March of 2021. Americans know that Trump means business. The economy responds to real leadership. But it's not just confidence, it's concrete action. The White House gave National News Desk exclusive details about Trump's big, beautiful bill that will supercharge the economy just like it was 2017. Watch.
Now to an exclusive. President Trump's proposed tax cuts in the One Big Beautiful Bill will lead to historical growth. The administration sharing these details with just the national news desk tonight. The White House says in the year following Trump's 2017 tax cuts, family income saw a $6,400 boost. They add that the bill will unleash a blue-collar boom leading to new jobs. You can read the full handout right now. We have it posted right there at thenationaldesk.com.
$6,400 family income boost last time. Imagine what's coming now. Real money in real pockets. And Miran explained why this tax bill is crucial for unleashing another economic boom and why deficit hawks are looking at the wrong numbers. The full picture tells a completely different story. Watch.
With the big, beautiful tax bill that's going to create such an economic boom in this country, it's going to be great, just like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act created a big, beautiful boom in President Trump's first term. And the House did its job, and I think it's time for the Senate to do its job, too. Let me tell you something. I think a lot of the angst over this comes from people focusing on deficit numbers that come from the Congressional Budget Office, when that's one tiny picture of the one tiny corner of the entire picture. They need to focus on the big picture. There's going to be trillions of dollars over the 10-year window coming in from better economic growth, trillions coming in from tariff revenue, trillions coming in from lower interest expenses as we kill inflation. Right?
That could really affect the summer. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So trillions from growth, trillions from tariffs, lower interest costs. Now, the math works when you see the whole picture clearly. Even Trump skeptic Stephen Moore admitted he was completely wrong about tariffs causing inflation. The numbers don't lie. Trump's strategy is working perfectly while critics eat crow. Watch.
Than it is an inflation premium. Steve Moore, I'd say it's pretty calm inflation report. This is from Unleashed Prosperity. Yeah, I don't see much going on.
Yeah. Look, I've been wrong. I thought these tariffs would cause higher inflation. Tariffs are taxes, and consumers bear some of the cost of that, but it just isn't showing up in the numbers right now. It just really isn't. And if you look at, almost any measure of inflation right now, it's pretty tame. I mean, somewhere in the 2.5% to 3% range, which is a little bit higher than we want, but hardly a catastrophe. And I want to make one other quick point. There was that slight increase in the 30-year bond interest rate. And, oh, my God, the world's coming to an end. But that rate isn't really up much, and neither is the 10-year. So the point that I think a lot of people miss, it's not deficits that ruin the economy, it's government spending. So bring the spending down.
Yes, no, just a good point. I would also say, by the way, for what it's worth,
inflation staying tame despite the tariffs. Another expert admits Trump was right all along. The winning continues unabated. And the pressure that Trump is applying to our trading partners is already bearing fruit. Remember, we told you, you've got to pull the Band-Aid off. It's going to hurt a little bit at first. You saw the markets react. But now countries are lining up to make deals because they need access to American markets more than we need them. Watch.
Canada, like so many other countries, are just anxious for a deal with the United States because they know that we're the biggest, deepest, most reliable consumer market in the world. Everyone wants to come here and sell and do business. And so the president knows how to get them to the bargaining table, how to get them to make concessions that will make trade more sustainable, more fair to American workers.
All right, so everybody wants to sell to America. Trump knows how to use that leverage. He's a master negotiator. And Trump's nuclear energy push is opening massive opportunities. Oklo CEO Jake DeWitt revealed how the president's executive orders will accelerate American energy dominance across the board.
Yeah, I mean, we had decades in the last part of the last century of significant stagnation and policy that just was not supportive of actually energy abundance, right? And now we're seeing that change under the leadership of the president, building on, by the way, things he did before in his first term, as well as going back several administrations, frankly. There's been this acceleration of saying, hey, look, nuclear plays an important role. We need to get rid of some of the inefficient, outdated things at the policy space and the regulatory space that have held nuclear back and let the innovation in this country flourish. We still lead the world, but we need to be doing more to actually build and deploy these things. And what he's done is he's unlocked now these additional regulatory pathways, these streamlining, opportunities around sort of modernizing and reforming the regulatory system so that it can actually be reflective of newer, better, safer technologies like what we're working on getting out to market. It's going to be a significant accelerant to unlocking a significant amount of growth. So that map you showed, which showed the number of states, I fully expect a lot more states to have it. When you look at the projects, the ones we're talking to, others in the space we're talking to, you're going to see a pretty significant move of new plants. And what these executive orders do is they really help bring that timeline forward. And it's a big testament, right, to the leadership of the president, Secretary Burgum, Secretary Wright with the National Energy Dominance Council.
Streamline regulations, modernized systems, significant growth acceleration. That is leadership that works. Energy independence returns. And on crypto, Trump's appointment of David Sachs is already paying dividends. Sachs exposed how Elizabeth Warren tried to destroy American crypto innovation during the Biden years with the auto pen. Watch.
This is the financial system of the future, Jesse, and we have to encourage it. What the Biden administration was doing, and let's face it, it wasn't Biden. Elizabeth Warren controlled the auto pen during that administration. She, for some reason, has this pathological hatred of the crypto community. She wants to drive this community offshore. She doesn't want it happening in the United States. That's the wrong policy for the United States. We want all the innovation happening here. This is a financial system of the future. It's cheaper, it's more efficient. We want it happening here, Jesse, and I think people are thrilled that President Trump is making that possible.
Warren controlled Biden's auto pen to attack crypto. Trump's making America the crypto capital instead. Total reversal. And the Trump effect even reached the Middle East. A freed hostage revealed that Hamas terrorists were terrified when Trump won, immediately changing how they treated prisoners. Watch.
Yes, it's him. He got me out. He got the hostages out. Before, we felt like nothing is happening, And I remember ever since he came into the road, they were very scared of him. Yeah, they wanted...
Who?
The terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah, they wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah. They wanted Kamala to be elected. But as soon as Donald Trump was elected, they understood that he wants to bring the hostages back home. Yeah. So immediately the way they treated me changed. So if it's the amount of food, I could say this, that when Trump became president, the way they treated us changed. For me, personally, this is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah.
And that's when they started giving you more food.
Exactly. More food, treated me better, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
They were spitting and cursing?
Yeah.
Were they beating you?
No, never. I was never, except the 7th of October, I was never abused physically. But I think it's because the way I managed around
the relationship.
Yeah.
Terrorists wanted Kamala. When Trump won, they knew the game was over. Even our enemies respect strength. And even Democrats are admitting the truth. Watch David Hogg accidentally reveal who really ran Biden's White House, and it wasn't Joe. The shadow government just got exposed. Watch.
Yes, nice to meet you. Yeah. Off the record, of course. Foundational question for me is how corrupt is the DNC if so many people knew, or few people knew about Biden? Well, the president of the United States.
I mean, I think the fact of the matter is the DNC is always going to be a campaign arm of the president, ultimately. The bigger issue was the inner circle that was around Biden. That's it.
And I can't stress to you enough.
Joe Biden's chief of staff, had an enormous amount of power.
Joe Biden?
Joe Biden's chief of staff.
That was an open secret at the level. I would avoid him. He was scary.
What was his name?
Anthony Trump.
I've never seen him.
Exactly.
What do you mean?
He's just he's a shadowy, Wizard of Oz type figure. That's what made him so I knew how he looked, but the general public wouldn't know how this man looked. But he wielded an enormous amount of power, and I can't stress to you how much power he had at the White House.
Anthony Bernal, the shadow puppet master that nobody elected. That's who is running our country. Democracy dies in darkness, right? From record consumer confidence to economic boom preparations, from energy independence to crypto dominance, Trump's delivering on every promise. And the numbers prove it. The experts admit it. Even our enemies fear it. This is what is making America great again, and looks what it looks like in real time. You love this report? Hit subscribe right now. My final take is next. So the numbers don't lie. Consumer confidence at record highs. Americans finally believing we're on the right track. The Trump economy is roaring back to life, and we're only in week 18. While Biden hid behind his auto pen and shadow staffers ran the country into the ground, Trump he's back in the driver's seat, and he's delivering real results. $6,400 income boosts are coming. Tax cuts that'll make 2017 look small. Energy dominance that will crush inflation. Even Hamas terrorists knew the game changed the moment that Trump won. That freed hostage testimony should wake up every American to what real leadership means. So here's my question. Do you feel more confident about America's future now than you did 6 months ago? Drop a yes or no in the comments. I'm betting it's going to be a landslide yes. Now, the Trump effect is real, it's measurable, and it's just getting started. And you can support real news that tells the truth by checking out our merch shop, link below.